How's it going, everybody? Right here today, and we are back with your Kansas City Royals franchise mode here in episode number 1, ready to officially get started today. We are in spring training. We detailed the team and maybe my plans for it going forward in the last episode, guys. So if you haven't seen that one, episode 0 is out there for you guys to check it out. My thoughts on the team, but my thoughts right now are, I don't really think I'm going to make any moves. I think right now we're going to let some of the guys with some good potential play. I think it'd be a disservice to get rid of Salvador Perez right now. I think he's a great backup catcher for us. I certainly think that Freddie Fermin is our catcher of the future. But with Salvador Perez, I certainly don't have to worry about the backup position. And it's actually nice to have a guy like that, a 33-year-old, been there, done that, played almost 1,400 games for the Kansas City Royals. I think it would just be a tragedy for me to move on from him. So I really don't think that there's much I can use to move and acquire pieces. And besides, I'd like to see how guys sim before I just get rid of somebody who's maybe a B72, but then all of a sudden his bat's just electric, right? Or he's got a tremendous WAR because he's a stud, out in the outfield, right? I mean, maybe MJ Melendez here does hit that A potential. I mean, that arm is great, but the fielding could be a lot better. But it's one of those that he's very durable. He's got a decent bat and he's got a great arm. So maybe he can develop into something. Hunter Renfroe is probably our trade chip if we were to trade somebody. 77 at 32, so nearing the end of his career. Probably, I think he is the second best player on the team as far as fielder. That is a very concerning thing to say. But Nelson Velasquez here is our DH. I was going to say Hunter Renfroe could potentially be our DH, but we have Nelson Velasquez here. Good amount of power there, not a good fielder. So I really do think that fielding is where we would want to improve. Now, it says 10th for our defense, but that might just be due to the infield. I think the outfield, the defense in the outfield, although Kyle Isbell here, B potential 72, amazing fielder. So maybe he's single-handedly dragging it up. Just looking at MJ Melendez, it's not the worst. Actually, it's not as bad of a team defensively as I thought it was going to be. But Vinny Pasquantino here, another guy that we're just going to let ride and see how it goes, right? And maybe halfway through the season, we decide that Vinny's not it for us at first base, and we move him. I mean, he's 26, beat potential 75. He's got to have a little bit of something. He looks like a good bat, though, so I'm going to let things go here. Pitching is 24th, though. That's easily where we would want to improve our team. But I'm going to get ahead to the regular season here. I'm going to set up the 40-man roster. We're going to set our opening day roster as well, and we can finally get into the start of the season. All right, guys, we have the roster set. Our 26-man opening day roster is here and ready to go. Taking a look at the depth chart view just because I don't control the lineups right now. I figured, well, the team's not going to be very good. I'm going to just work on managing the roster and letting the manager put together the day-to-day lineups, and especially dealing with injuries too. But we'll focus on pitching in a minute, but we'll start at the catcher where they have Salvador Perez as the everyday player over Freddie Fermin, which I don't necessarily agree with. He is technically a better hitter against righties, not against lefties, I'd say. The vision is similar, the discipline similar, the clutch very similar. The fielding, though, is much better for Freddie Fermin. I mean, the running, I mean, it's not even a competition. But so I guess Freddie Fermin is going to be our backup catcher. I'd like to make Salvador Perez the backup catcher, to be honest. I may override what the manager does there. Then at first, we got Vinny Pasquantino. Second base is going to be a platoon between Adam Frazier and Michael Massey. I'm happy with that because Massey at 26 does bat lefty. Both of them bat lefty, actually. I bet Massey's playing against lefties and then Frazier's playing against righties. That's my assumption. Bobby Witt, obviously, is the shortstop. No doubt about that one. And then at third base, we've got Garrett Hampson and Michael Garcia. Hampson here, really, really good contact guy, good bunt, speed guy. So one of the guys, you get him on the base path, anything can happen. Michael Garcia here, really good potential, amazing contact against lefties, really good fielder as well, and good speed. So we actually have a good runners over there at third. And then Garrett Hampson will platoon at the DH when he's not playing third. Nelson Velasquez, though, will be, against righties, it looks like. Maybe against lefties. Maybe against lefties. I don't know where they're platooning and who's going in where, but they'll just be going on and off. In left field, we got MJ Melendez. That's his spot to lock down. Center field is going to be between Drew Waters and Kyle Isbell here. They both are very competent fielders. You can see that Drew Waters is a little bit better with the arm, not a good bat. And then neither of our center fielders are good with the bat, but they're pretty good fielding. So I'll take that for my center fielder. And then in right, it is Hunter Renfroe's spot. He is the best bat in the outfield. And we've got Nick Pratto here as well. That can play first. He's kind of my utility player. I like to have one of those guys that can kind of play everywhere as my backup. I believe I had that in mind for Garrett Hampson here, considering he literally can play everywhere but first. But we just don't have enough talent right now to make him that anywhere you want, play him, pinch hit, swap him in the field. So I think I'm happy with this for now. Scouting wise, definitely something we will take a look at. I don't think I'm going to get up to the draft. We'll probably get the first couple months done. March, obviously, April, May, probably get into June. The draft is not until July, so we can get halfway through June. You guys can let me know how badly I'm screwing up with everything, and then we can make some adjustments there. I like to take it slow for the first couple times through the season or two. Just to really sink into the team, make sure we got our due diligence, we're getting good talent, we're developing players, and then once you get like a really good team, we can kind of zoom through it a bit more. Set my trade block. I'd really like some starting pitching. I think a center fielder would be nice, and then I'd say third baseman. I'd say those are probably the three positions that I would like to go after. Definitely starting pitching in the draft too. Without a doubt, sim to draft day. No, thank you. But let's take a look at the pitching rotation. You can see Cole Ragans here, Seth Lugo, then Brady Singer, Michael Wacha, and Kyle Wright. Daniel Lynch is the long reliever here, so I like to have 6 starting pitchers, 5 relievers, and a closer. So that gives us just a pitching of 12 players, and then 14 fielders. That's 2 catchers. 1 everywhere in the infield, plus a backup, 2 backups there. And then in the outfield, I like 5 or 6. Like I said, I like 5 for certain. I like my utility player, right? We got 5 outfielders, right? Our starting 3, a backup, and, we'll figure it out. Then we've got, if we just take a look here at the roster, then, it's right behind my head here, but I'm just trying to talk you through it. You can see we've got 2 shorts, 2 seconds, 2 first, but that one of those guys was supposed to be the all-around utility. So I like, what is that? 1, 3, 5, 6 infielders, 2 catchers, and 5 outfielders. Usually it's 6 outfielders because they end up becoming the utility player. But right now, based on the roster construction we have, it's going to be another infielder, so he can play everywhere, though. So I'm not too worried about it. This team, I don't think we're going to be too good, but I think, we've set ourselves up with what we could do, the best we can get for now. The trade block, nobody is on the trade block yet, so I would like to make a move, but there's nobody out there to go after. But let's go ahead and let's get up through a couple weeks here, get going. A lot of losses. Yes, I would like to stop simulating because today is a day to set up scouting assignments. We are 4-5. How do we do with the opener of the season, the home opener? We do beat Minnesota. Where are we in the standings? We are 2.5 back of Detroit. Minnesota, a team to keep an eye on too. They are right up there as well. But it is a scouting day, so we will go ahead and set up our scouts. Yes, the big board, 14 weeks. It's the same as last season. That means you have 3 per week. Auto scout. Yeah, I got it. Okay. And then what I think I want to do first. Oh, I can't leave. Uh-oh. I was going to take a look at our scouts, but and then come back, but I guess I have to do that later. Determines the amount of player interest and scouting progress per week. Okay. So, I think efficiency is the big one, right? Brent Norton is our dude. Really good discovery, really good efficiency, and he's going to be really, really efficient. Daniel Quezada. If Scout is not busy, you can give them assignment. Blah, 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 blah. We all know this already. Discover new prospects. Okay, so scouting a position. I think he's really good at pitchers. So I'm going to send him in the Central here to find some starting pitchers in the Central. I think I want to scout a prospect here. Let's see. They got a really good closing pitcher, but Vladimir Ramirez. Where is he from? Oh, God. Okay. I wish I could just go through this. Doctor exam, injury risk. Okay. So he's from the Dominican Republic, so we wouldn't be scouting him anyway. 100% scouting as well, thanks to that efficiency. And we'll scout a position here. Let's go with center fielders in the international center fielders. There we go. 5% scouting per week. If I move this to priority 3, it's only 1% interest, but that's fine. 5% scouting and 10% scouting is what we want to see. So starting pitchers, third baseman, and center fielders again. I mean, I know it says left field, but I'm not too worried about that. We're going to see if if we can get MJ Melendez to grow. If not, so be it. But let's go ahead and advance. Finalize weekly scouting plan, and we are all set. Roster, and yes, I don't care. I don't want those updates. Injured list. Kyle Wright's going to be out for a few days. Oh my God, we have quite a few injuries. Thankfully, they're not too long, and we should have enough of a roster to get through that kind of thing. But there we go. We now have to do the scouting every week so we can get up through this right here. We've got Houston, Bobby Witt at the plate. You know what? Let's jump in. Screw it. You know, let's have some fun. Let's get into the game and play and see if we can walk this thing off. I mean, if it wasn't Bobby Witt, I probably wouldn't jump in. But since it is, let's go ahead and see if we can get it done. And here we go. Oh, I need to turn off the announcers. Audio, let's go with no commentary. We'll go with, actually, I have to do this myself. Commentary volume all the way down. Beautiful. Okay, apply changes. And here we are. So Bobby Witt Jr. at the plate. Our first bit of action, and we're at home, too. And it's going to be a ball. All right, you know what I am going to do? I'm going to do what I did with the Red Sox series. It helps it go along a little bit faster. I will only show you guys the action pitches. And I am going to strike out with Bobby Witt on the slider. Just missing that one down and away. Just couldn't quite get around to it. What do we got? What was it? I was too early. Yeah, he's got that 100-mile-per-hour fastball. And then the mid-80s slider. That's nasty stuff. I am going to make contact with the DH, Nelson Velasquez. But that is not going to be enough to do anything with it. It's going to be flown out to right field and caught and put away. And we are now down to our final out. Who is batting fifth? It is Salvador Perez. Let's see if we can get a big one here. 74 power, 64 contact. Should be a good chance to get a hit and maybe bring, I don't know who that is over at first, but maybe bring them home. And that one is in the zone, high in the zone. We get enough of it, but we were slightly underneath it. And that is all she wrote. That would have been a great pitch to turn on. We did make contact with it, but unfortunately, I was not able to put it in play. Or I should say, you know, make it exciting. Anyway, it was just flown out. That's probably the only time we're going to jump in for now. I do want to get through this episode, and you know, we've obviously got a lot of baseball coming up in this series, and for the rest of the season, with the draft being on the 13th here, I feel no pressure to hurry through or whatever. So we are just going to simulate to the end of this game. Top of the ninth, 2 outs. Edwin Diaz. The Mets have defeated us. That's okay. I may turn off is it possible to turn off those critical moments? I'll figure that out. But another injury popping up. It is, AAA. That's fine. And we are 5-10. That's not exactly where we want to be, obviously, but I don't really see us having too much success in year number 1. Vladimir Ramirez, though, draft rank 2. We rank him number 1. Really good overall. Really good potential. Righty pitcher. I love that. I love that. So we'll cancel that scouting assignment. And then, okay, we can take a look at the starting pitchers that we have scouted a little bit of, recently scouted here. Starting pitchers, we can see, things are looking good here. We're going to keep them on that right there. Center fielders from the international region. Let's take a look at that. Center fielders here. And not a lot of center fielders from the international region that we really want to take too much of a look at. So I am going to edit this scouting assignment and go with the East region. Actually, let me go with let's go with the East region. We'll stick with the East region. We're kind of close to the East. We're really in the middle of everything. So I don't know. Kansas City fans, do you identify, if you couldn't pick Central, would you identify with the West or the East more? Let me know. Anyway, we're going to continue to scout here, scout prospect. Let's look at some third baseman here. Although Norton is, he's actually better at position players than he is at pitchers. So scout a prospect, all prospects. 10th here. Wow, this is some really high potential. That's some really high potential overall. But let's take a look at Avery Thomas here. 76 per week. That should be enough for me to make an informed decision. And you know what? We're going to go ahead and get up to the end of the month of April. I'll do the scouting in the meantime, and I'll show you guys who's hitting well, who's not hitting well in the first month, and how we look after 1 month. It's not looking good right now. Maybe something's going to turn around. All right, so the month of April is over. We ended it going 6-2, though. 6-2. We beat Toronto in the series. We beat Detroit in the series. We have Toronto again. Have a chance to beat them in the series. Let's just do it. Oh, wow. Bases loaded for Matt Sauer to close it out. Well, not close it out. It's tied. Simulate to the end of the game. The Blue Jays have defeated us. Yeah, I kind of figured that was going to happen with bases loaded. It's okay. 14 and 18, though. We are sitting 4.5 back of the Twins for the AL Central lead. As far as the wild card is concerned, yeah, the wild card is going to be better than our own division. We kind of knew that coming into the season. This is a team that I feel like I could take to the top of the division, to the playoffs sooner, rather than we're actually a good team. Some pitchers are struggling. Do we have any major league updates? Nope. Nobody in the major leagues doing anything notable. Let's take a look, though, at the stats for the entire team. Statistics, team rankings. Where do we rank in batting average? Probably not very high is my guess. And there we are at 25th. Bobby Witt's batting 298. Garrett Hampson's batting 289. Nelson Velasquez at 283. So not too bad there. Let's take a look. Actually, I'm going to go just to the player statistics for now, just so we can figure it out. So batting average leader is Nick Pratto, but he's only got 33 at-bats. I mean, he's lost 1 speed, which is tough, but 25 beat potential. Got to let that sink in. Vinny Pasquantino is growing. His overall's great. He's got 9 home runs in the first month or so. 9 home runs and 88 at-bats. Absolutely love that return. RBIs are up there, as well as batting 318. Vinny Pasquantino, you are crushing it, my man. I will take it. Even though you can't hit really well against lefties power-wise, he's a good batter. I think we might have a first baseman here that we have stick around for a little while. Michael Massey here at second. Only 16 at-bats, so not much to talk about. But Bobby Witt, the star of the show, the star of the team. OPS of 899. Might as well call that 900. Batting about 300 with 5 home runs as well. Love to see that. Home run leaders. Pasquantino, Nelson Velasquez, we saw his batting average was the second highest on the team of anybody that had qualified. Don't know why Pasquantino doesn't qualify, but he is having a tremendous first month. Velasquez with 6. MJ Melendez with 5 home runs is losing a little bit of contact, but gaining a little bit of power, stealing and base running aggressiveness. So we'll see. We'll play him as much as we can. Good arms. We'll see what happens. As far as home runs, though, Garrett Hampson, 4 from short, third, DH, wherever you want to play him, he's there. 289 batting average is really what I'm looking at for him. He hopefully is a terror on the base path with that 90 speed. Good contact, good speed. Probably more of a leadoff guy, but the vision, not what I would like to see. Salvador Perez is ice cold, batting 205 after 1 month. Whew, that is not good. But OPS here, let's take a look. The guys over 750. Same guys we've been talking about, Hampson, Massey, Velasquez, Witt Jr., and Pasquantino. All these guys are doing really, really well. Nick Pratto here, we'd hope to see him get a little bit more run-in, but with how well Vinny Pasquantino's hitting, I don't blame our manager for not playing him. By the way, who is our manager? Staff contract, coaches. It is Matt Quattraro. Okay. Yeah, Matt believes that Vinny Pasquantino should be starting more, and I'm with him there. Let's take a look at what do I want to take a look at? And who's getting on base but maybe not hitting well? Vinny's just killing it. Velasquez, Pratto, Massey, Witt, Hampson, Frazier. I mean, yeah, all these guys are doing fine. Renfro's cold, which is not what I wanted to see. 214. He does have 2 home runs. RBI leaders obviously are going to be the guy with a lot of home runs right now. Interesting to see Hunter Renfroe up there with 13, but only 2 home runs. So he's getting it done with runners in scoring position. Just not done with the long ball. Stolen bases. How many times caught stealing? Adam Frazier. Why are we telling Adam Frazier to steal? I don't know. But Garrett Hampson here is caught stealing 3 times. Does it say how many stolen bags he's got? 3. So about a 50% stolen base percentage. Yeah, yes, it is. Very quick math. WAR, we've got Bobby Witt Jr. being the best. Melendez with negative 0.4. I don't like to see that. Just because I'd like him to be a positive WAR. Even if he's not going to hit, I'd like him to use the arm. Again, the fielding and the reaction is not very good, though, at all. So, not many negatives, though, which is nice to see. Renfroe, Isbell here, don't like that. I mean, he's a great fielder. Would have loved to see him, like, listen, if he's not going to hit against righties, his fielding is really going to be where he's going to make his value. Even then, that's not there. So, don't like to see that. Pratto hasn't gotten a lot of at-bats. Other than that, let's take a look at the positive stories. Velasquez, Pasquantino, and Bobby Witt. Those are our big ones. Garrett Hampson, 0.5. Salvador Perez, not too bad. Freddie Fermin, I'd like to see him have more than 72 innings. I think it's probably time to make Salvador Perez the backup. Thought maybe he could catch fire early, but he hasn't. Runs created. It is Vinny Pasquantino with 24. He's probably on pace for almost 100, and that's huge, right? I always look for the guys that are in the 90s, the 100s, 85 plus. And looks like we got a couple guys here. Hampson even, not a guy that I would expect to have a lot of runs created. This is about as close as I can get to my advanced analytics that I want to, but I really do think at 18, right? 128 at-bats. He'll probably have 500 at-bats considering he's playing as much as he is. So he'll probably have 80, 75. I'll take that from a guy like this who I had no expectations for to do well with the bat. But Velasquez with that power at the DH. Bobby Witt, we know Bobby Witt's a stud. And Vinny Pasquantino, another surprise gem. So this is why I didn't want to make too many moves and trades before, because Vinny Pasquantino could have been one of the guys that I moved on from. But he's leading the team in runs created right now, so I am absolutely happy with that. As far as all the other stats, there's nothing over here. This is all average with runners in scoring position. Vinny Pasquantino's batting .450 with runners in scoring position. That is fantastic. I love to see that. But yeah, just batting average in away games, not really a stat that I'm too concerned about. Let's take a look at the pitchers. Sorry, I should take a look at our pitchers as well. Pitchers here. Innings pitched, Seth Lugo, the number one, 2.64 ERA. So despite, being 0-2 and losing overall a bit, he's pitching really, really well. Daniel Lynch is not. Cole Ragans, 392. None of these guys are really pitching all that well. Let's sort by ERA. Let's go with starting pitchers, actually. Sort by ERA. Seth Lugo's doing the best. We just mentioned that. But Ragans, right. I mean, none of these guys are really doing all that well. Whips, easily in the 1.24. I'd like to see that get a lot lower for all of them. Quality starts, though. Lugo's given us some quality starts. Daniel Lynch is the long reliever, so no wonder he's got 0. Kyle Wright with 2 of his 6, 3 of the 6 here for Brady Singer, 4 of the 7, 4 of the 6. So these guys, I feel like they're doing fine. They're doing about as well as I would have expected them to. They've all got a positive WAR. The Ks per 9, we're not really going to be a strikeout team, it looks like. Not giving up a tremendous amount of home runs. Component ERA. And then the FIP, I mean, you can see that Seth Lugo is pitching the way he should be. Daniel Lynch maybe getting a little unlucky in the long reliever. He's not going to have too many innings to pitch, but Brady Singer here too. Good to see him with that A potential, pitching well himself. Just probably not getting the results with the 4.26 ERA. I'm hoping that does improve a bit. Obviously, the defense behind him, we got to improve that. You know what? I probably should also take a look at our relief. You know what? We won't take a look at our relief pitchers. We've got more baseball to simulate through. Let's get through May, get to the start of June, maybe a week or two in June, see really where this team is sitting. And then we can make a plan going forward, guys. Really, I'd like to get your take on who is playing well, who should be moved, what I should be looking to upgrade. Kind of at a loss, so I'm just trying to hope that something jumps out at me for what we need. I know starting pitching is probably it, but there's definitely more that we need. So your guys' thoughts in the comments are always appreciated. All right, so welcome back, guys. We are in the middle of June. It is June 9th. We are about a month away from the draft, which is why I wanted to pause the video here. That's why I brought you guys back in. Any big injuries? No, not to anybody in the majors. We are 30-36, chilling at 6.5 games back of the Twins for the AL Central. 9 games back of the wild card. So we're gonna have to get hot and in a hurry here if we are to make any noise in the postseason. I don't think it's gonna happen. I believe my GM goal, though, is to win the division this year, which I disagree that should be our yearly goal. I think maybe next year you can talk to me about winning the division, but I don't think that's the goal this year. This year is to really assess the team, to get some better players, see how we do for the draft, right? I'm excited about the scouting. We've with pick number 6, we could probably get a pretty good player here. But taking a look at the prospect list, some of the recently scouted players. Let's just go to all players here. Mark Mosley here from Arizona is apparently the number 1 player for us. So let's go ahead and I'm going to scout him specifically. I'm going to take, I think Oliver Hernandez here off of third baseman, international third baseman, because I'm just trying to find a little bit of something here and there. I mean, like Anthony Mejia here at pick, we've got him ranked 36. The draft rank is 40. We can take him at pick 38. I think that's not a bad pick there. 74 to 89 potential, 63 to 78 current ability. I mean, absolutely. From Cuba, bats lefty. Looks like he's going to have some good power against righties. A pretty good arm, a pretty good fielder as well. Low injury risk. I really like the way that he looks. Taking a look at all third basemen, right? If we wanted to, we could take Avery Thomas early, but I'd rather, I think, take one of those starting pitchers. You guys can see here, I mean, Dewey Smith, where is he from? North Carolina, so that is the East. Mark Mosley's from Arizona, so that is the West. That's a bit tough. But Nick Allen right now, 93 potential. He's a lefty as well, so low injury risk. Bonus demand's not too crazy, but strikeouts, he's a strikeout pitcher. I don't really worry about his speed and his fielding. I mean, his arm strength is great because he can apparently throw really, really fast. Velocity's probably as good as it's going to get. He looks like a ready-made player right now. 68 to 78 and then 83 to 93 is really good, but I'd like to scout guys like Dewey Smith a little bit more. Bobby German here. Bobby German. Another guy, really, really high potential. He is in the central region, which is nice. Dominican Republic for Michael Chacon, Dan Schiff. I mean, there's a lot of good pitchers here, guys. Like, we've got a lot of them scouted. We're ranking them awfully high. Vladimir Ramirez is ranked number 2, though, in the whole draft. Phil Raines from Vermont. Maybe what I should probably do is scout starting pitchers with two of my scouts, and then one of my scouts can go out and do some other stuff. But we're getting 10% per week here. We have 4 weeks left. So that's international starting pitchers. Let's go edit scouting assignment. We'll go with starting pitchers here. Starting pitchers from the West, I think. From the West. We're getting 15% per week. So if we view the prospect list, starting pitchers from the West, that would cover Mosley. That wouldn't cover Dewey Smith. These guys are Central and International. Delaware, Lombardo. I think what we actually might want to do is scout the East. I think it's the East here. I mean, there's Robert Devine here. Looks decent right now, but Phil Raines looks better. Just at first glance. California there. Okay, New Jersey. It's both. Maybe I'll just, you know what? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to send them all to scout starting pitchers in all the regions there. We're getting 5% per week, though, from Oliver Hernandez. He is definitely not it. Oliver Hernandez, his discovery is great, but his efficiency is terrible. Daniel Quezada, I mean, Brent Norton is probably going to be the scout that stays around. I think what I'll do is I'll get rid of Hernandez. Finalize. And what I'm going to do is staff contracts, scouts, hire, yes, I understand. Experience and salary. Yes, I got it. I think Oliver Hernandez, though, I want to get rid of him. We do have 6,000 remaining, which means we can get one of these ridiculously good scouts. 96 efficiency for these guys is great. 92 efficiency, 93 efficiency down here. That's a little bit cheaper. 98 efficiency for Casey Fuqua. So I think I'm going to do that. Have him replace Oliver Hernandez. There we go. Brent Norton's efficiency is good. Daniel Quezada, I think I may move on from him as well. Daniel Quezada, we would have, 6,000? So we couldn't quite get up into those 112,000, but 103,000 here. We're not losing too much. We're just losing a little bit on the positional players. I guess we could do we have any discovery? I don't really care too much about discovery. Efficiency, I just want high efficiency. Position players a little bit lesser there. I just want high efficiency, man. That's really what I want right now. It's one of these guys up here. I think, losing out on the positional players a little bit. I mean, this guy's really well-rounded, though. I think I might go with Ethan Crawford because they have the same efficiency. He's just he's more well-rounded. So Daniel Quezada is going to make way for Ethan Crawford. Now all of our scouts are very, very efficient, and hopefully I can make that change here. So Brent Norton scouting starting pitchers in the West. So scout position, we'll do scouting starting pitchers in the East here. We're getting 15% per week for both of those guys. That is beautiful. That means in 3 weeks, we're going to pretty much finish those guys out. And then scout a position here, starting pitchers internationally. Yeah, they're all 15%. We love to see that. So I think for another week or two, I'll do this. We have 4 more weeks to scout. So I'll probably get 30% more here and then move these guys to other positions, but I probably should have done that sooner. Fired the scouts after I took a look at it. That's an oopsie on me. I haven't played MLB The Show since last year. So the scouting, hey, we'll see how it goes, but I'm very excited with these new scouts to get 15% per week on the entire position. Very, very happy with that. And you know what? I'm going to move him up to 1. Actually, no. Can I move him to 3? He still gets... Do we get any other boost? No, we do not. So I'm just going to move him back to 2. West, East, International. I actually don't think... Do we need international pitchers still? I don't think we do. I don't really think we need international starting pitchers still. I think we might actually want to change that. So view prospect list. Let's take a look at catchers. Do we want a... I mean, a catcher could be really good, like a stud young catcher. Let's see. Where are they mostly located? Cali, Pennsylvania, New York, Cali, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Dominican, South Carolina, New York. Okay. So how about the top guys? Like this guy, he's California, Pennsylvania, New York, California. Okay, so California might be where we want to look. Yeah, the West. So maybe catchers out West. They're saying our catcher's actually pretty good, so maybe I won't look at catchers this year. I don't really want to use a pick on a second baseman unless he's an absolute stud, which Tory Miller kind of does look like a stud here from New York, from Missouri, the Dominican, New Jersey. I'd like to get something that's like clumped up a little bit, you know? Third baseman, we've looked at them, some of the top prospects here. Greg Lake from Virginia. No, shortstops, we've got Bobby Witt. Doesn't mean we can't get a guy like Brandon Lockett, but left fielders, there's not a lot of great outfielders in this class. Like, there's just not a lot of outfielders that really excite me. So this might not be the year to go after an outfielder. Chinese Taipei for Tom Lin. Wow, that's crazy. Venezuela, Chinese Taipei, Connecticut, Michigan. So, I mean, there are potentially some really good players here in Reed Steiner from Connecticut, but he's got a little ways to go. Jimmy Reyes from Massachusetts. Center field, I think, is a lost cause this year. I think I do want to look at catchers because there seems to be quite a few good catchers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that catchers... in the, I think it was the East region, was the best looking catchers. Cali, Pennsylvania, New York, Cali, Pennsylvania, Arizona. Actually, you know what? Let's do West. For now, let's do West. I think I'll have time to do both of them, but 15% per week, get 30% on everybody, get them up to about 50% scouted, and I think we should be good there. But I really do think we need some starting pitching prospects because starting pitchers sort by potential. There's not a lot of young talent up and coming, and I really love to build a stable of young, good pitching because then we can move on from some pitchers as they get more expensive or use some of our young trade chip assets from starting pitchers to then go after established catchers, other positions that are a little bit harder to find really good players. I know you need more pitchers, but still. Anyway, guys, that's all the time I have for this one. We saw the statistics last time. I don't think anybody's doing too crazy different. Pasquantino's still killing it. Kyle Isbell's actually improved. Same thing with Adam Frazier. Bobby Witt's gone cold a bit, but man, Vinny Pasquantino is a stud. I love Vinny Pasquantino. He's killing it right now. So really love to see that. Run the WAR. Any negatives? Melendez. Yikes. Maybe he's not it. Freddie Furman is growing. Look at, oh, he's growing nicely. I like to see that. That makes me excited. And then runs created here, 41 for Pasquantino, Bobby Witt, Garrett Hampson still doing well. Frazier, Velazquez has cooled off. Renfro still chugging along there. So you guys let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. I would love to know what you think I should do. Should I make any trades? Should I try and sign free agents? Should I, you know, try and do anything, or do we just kind of let it ride for now and then attack it more in free agency? I really don't feel like we have too many players to move on from, right? We don't have a surplus of anything. So I think drafting is what we need to do well. And then just signing depth players, moneyball it for a year or two to get into the playoffs, see if we can make some runs, let the young guys develop, and really surround Bobby Witt with as much talent as possible, as soon as possible. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more, and I will see you guys in the next one.
This a free for all, what we fall. This a free for all.